Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn.
Come, all you fair and tender girls that flourish in your prime. Beware, beware if you're good and fair. Let no man steal your time, your time. Let no man steal your time.
If you don't recognize that, that's the theme song of the next Netflix show, Alise Grace. Welcome back, guys. Today I'm going to be doing a review for the Netflix show, Alise Grace, which I just recently finished binge watching on Netflix, and it was awesome. If you haven't seen it, warning, spoilers. The story fictionalizes the notorious 1843 murders of Thomas Kenner and his housekeeper, Nancy Montgomery. Two servants of the Kenner household, Grace Marks and James McDermott, were convicted of the crimes. McDermott was hanged and Marks was sentenced to life imprisonment. So Alias Grace is actually based off of a true story, but in the actual show, they had her talking to a therapist to get the story out, and it's actually a very interesting show. The main character is a character named Grace Marks. She's played by Sarah Gadden, and the doctor that she speaks throughout the entire show's name is Dr. Simon Jordan, who's played by Edward Hallcroft. The story starts you off in the prison in which Grace is being held. And you quickly find out that she's had such good behavior that she's able to clean the governor's house. And the story kind of moves to the governor's house from there, where every so often her and Dr. Jordan will meet. Now, Dr. Jordan has been sent there to see if she had truly murdered Miss Montgomery and her master. And quite honestly, from beginning to end, it seems like this woman could not harm a fly, much less murder two people. They really get you sympathizing with the murderess throughout the entire story. Because every day Dr. Jordan comes in and she tells him the details of her life, her leaving Ireland and riding over on a boat with her abusive father and her mother passing away, and how she had to take care of her siblings, and then how he pretty much sold her into servitude to make ends meet for the family, and how in servitude she meets the most important person in her life to ever step into her life, her best friend, Mary Whitney. And it carries you through this whole incredible story with her and Mary Whitney. I really fell in love with those two characters, just their friendship and their bond. And some horrible things happen with Mary Whitney. And eventually, Miss Montgomery comes over to the house and hears so much good things about Grace, she decides to hire her on for $3, which was like an outstanding amount back then. And I was very excited when they introduced the character of Nancy Montgomery, because she was played by Anna Paquin, also known as Sookie from, True Blood, another favorite of mine. And her master was played out to be a very rugged and handsome, old-fashioned gentleman who was single and lived alone with Miss Montgomery. And that was making rumors fly, which is why she wanted to hire on Grace in the first place. Grace coming in a lot younger than Miss Montgomery, their master was attracted to her. There was almost a thing between Grace and the neighbor boy, but she didn't really see him as being old enough, so she kind of sent him on his way. And then there was another man there, the farmhand, James McDermott, who, he just seems like a bad guy character from, like, the moment you meet him. Like, real controlling, the type that would be abusive, etc. The show goes on, and the murders happen, and all through this, Grace keeps having these little blackout moments that she can't remember. They start happening shortly after the horrible event that happens to Mary Whitney. And then there's, like, this whole weird undertone of maybe a sort of possession going on. It's hard to explain. Either that or maybe she did have a mental disorder. Go on, the murders happen. They're arrested. Pretty much, McDermott puts it all on Grace in a way and says it's all like her idea. She doesn't remember the murders taking place. She claims that he had told her beforehand that he was going to kill Montgomery because she was, like, really controlling and mean, and Suki really played her off as, like, a Suka, if anybody knows a little bit of Russian. So Grace had actually tried to warn Miss Montgomery during one of the times that she had her sleep in her bed. Because oftentimes when Mr. Montgomery wasn't home, she would ask her to sleep in her bed with her because she was afraid of robbers. And she tried to warn her that McDermott was going to kill her, or wanted to kill her, and she was just like, I'm sure she does. And didn't really pay much attention to what she had to say. The story is still, like, very, very interesting. The different points of view they kind of go to, it makes you really wonder whether or not this girl killed this guy. And then there's this whole thing with a hypnotist that they bring in, and the possession stuff, and then this whole thing where her and Mary Whitney did this game where they peel an apple and throw it over their shoulder, and it'll form the letter of the person they're supposed to marry, and the letter was J. And I personally noticed there's like 3 J names all the way through the story, and that's the neighbor boy, Dr. Jordan, and the hypnotist. I believe his name was James. So like, it's a really interesting story, and it really kept me on the edge of my seat. It really made me wonder, you know, whether or not this girl could have been innocent, could have been insane, or, you know, was playing like she was possessed, or maybe the hypnotist made her somehow seem possessed. It's really weird and interesting, and I really enjoyed it. And I really find it fascinating that it's based off a true story. So, yeah, and it really gives you, I feel like it really gives you a very accurate insight on what it was like in the 1800s. You know, when more pioneering people were coming to America and Canada and stuff like that. And I really enjoyed it myself. Have you seen Alias Grace? If not, have you seen Alias Grace? If not, you should definitely check it out. If so, let's talk about it down below. If you like this video and you want me to make some more reviews like this, give this video a thumbs up. If you like me, please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time. I feel like I'm not in a time era to say, peace. Peace. It's funny on the screen. Alright, till next time. I'll see ya.
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn.